The Wisconsin Supreme Court has struck down the Safer at Home order, ruling it is unlawful, invalid, and unenforceable.
The ruling was a 4-3 split. So what does that really mean as we all move forward? Mayor Tom Barrett says that the city has been working on its own substitute order in the event that the Supreme Court ruled in favor that the Safer at Home order was unconstitutional. He also joined us on TMJ4 News at 5 o'clock with his reaction to today's ruling.
My initial reaction is that, unfortunately, right now our Supreme Court acts more like a jukebox for the Republican leadership in the legislature. They put in a coin and the Wisconsin Supreme Court plays the song they want them to play. So we have to make sure that people not only are safe, but that they feel safe. And so we're continuing to work cooperatively among the different health departments here in the Milwaukee area and beyond.
And we have more reaction coming in right now. We have Rick Essenberg with us now with the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. And Rick, I know that you were arguing on behalf of businesses against the order. So I want two questions to you. Is this order right now no longer legal? And if so, does that mean if people want to go out to dinner tonight or get a haircut tomorrow, they can begin doing that if businesses reopen?
As I read the order, that's exactly right. The legislature had asked the court to delay the enforcement of an order declaring the order invalid, and the court concluded that that would have been meaningless in this context because once it decided that the order was unlawful, there would be no prospect for enforcing it. So if a business opens up tomorrow, then yes, I think people could patronize it.
Charles, do you have a second question?
So, Rick, let me give you a sense. Give me a sense here. Why did you feel that this order was not necessary, given the concerns about the pandemic and whether or not people should be gathering?
It's important to note that this case was not about whether we should have a safer at home restrictions or what those restrictions should be. This case was about how you decide what those restrictions would be. And the law provided that the governor could ask for 60 days under the declaration of a public health emergency. After that, he had no authority to act unless the legislature continued that emergency. He attempted to act unilaterally by arguing that a single cabinet official could lock down the state indefinitely. And the court said, look, the law simply can't do that. If the law did do it, it would probably be unconstitutional. And so I think the where we are right now is because the governor decided to act unilaterally. We are left with nothing in place. And it is now up to the legislature and the governor if they believe that some type of restrictions are necessary to enact those into law now.
Well, let me ask you one other quick follow-up to that. So if the court said that the Department of Health and Services secretary didn't have that authority, when you look at what the mayor of Milwaukee might be doing, what other counties might be doing, would they be able to turn to their health departments and say they want their own safer at home policy here? Do you think that has been, in essence, struck down, that they're not going to be allowed to do that?
They may be able to do something. That's a separate issue. As I read the court's decision, however, if the Department of Health Services doesn't have the authority to order people to stay at home, to forbid essential travel, or to order businesses to shut down, then I don't think that the localities have that power either. This is not to say that they can do nothing, but I don't think that they can do anything as broad as the governor's safer at home orders. I think in order to do that or something like that, it's going to be necessary for the legislature to act.
All right, Rick, I understand the argument at hand, but now that we are where we're at, what do you plan to do to get those two voices in the same room to talk and keep people safe?
Yeah, this should have happened a month ago, right? It is time now. It is perfectly appropriate to have a situation where a governor can act quickly in the event of a public emergency. But that was 60 days ago. Now, if we're going to move forward and we're going to have extraordinary restrictions on our ability to travel or to do business or to see our friends and family, then it's very important that that be done with the input not only of the governor, but of the people's elected representatives. Because if there's going to be some kind of a new normal, I hate that term, I think think that it's very important that it have broad bipartisan buy-in. And so I think the real value of this opinion today, not other than the fact that I believe it was legally correct and it enforced our Constitution's separation of powers, is that it will force the governor and the legislature to sit down, get together, and work out what the next phase of our response to the virus is going to be.
We appreciate you joining us this evening as we get this news just coming into our newsroom. Rick, thank you again. Also coming into our newsroom, responses from Attorney General Josh Kaul. Quote, Republicans in the legislature still have offered no plan to address the coronavirus. They can't keep waiting to do so. In the meantime, I ask all Wisconsinites to continue helping to fight the coronavirus by socially distancing and following other recommendations from public health experts.
Democratic State Senator Chris Larson also responding, quote, I am stunned by the blatant partisanship and reckless disregard for human life displayed today by some politicians on our Wisconsin Supreme Court in their decision to invalidate Governor Evers' safer at home order. Again, that decision was 4-3. The American Civil Liberties Union is responding to the ruling, saying, quote, emergency orders can be necessary during crises like a pandemic as long as they are grounded in science and consistent with the need to protect the health, safety, and civil liberties of us all. So we're going to continue to monitor this breaking news, and we got more coming up right after this.